lean, she want the Gucci. I ride with some harness on me, I got a blue cheek.
I know, looks a little crazy right now. I honestly was not going for this color. I was trying to get the yellow out, but still kind of in there.
She wants a lean, she want the Gucci. I ride with some harness on me, I got a blue cheek. Pull up in a Jeep, I put it on for a G. I want your body, give me a slap top on the front seat. We gon' fuck for an hour, then we...
I really gotta hurry up and get this tripod.
Anything over $400, you can finance for 12 months assistance, and then usually have promotions going on for larger finance. No problem. Take it easy.
I don't wanna close my eyes. It feels like I'm falling down, falling down. Oh, why won't they go away? Pictures of you in my head. The way you left broke my heart.
Back in, not last year, but the year before that, so that's 2018. I was in cosmetology school. I was doing the Barber's journey stuff, as you guys saw. Like 7 weeks in, like I got like a red dot on my eye. So for months I didn't know what it was. It was getting worse. My eyes were hurting. I had to actually get out of school. Couldn't get out of bed. Couldn't see. My voice changed. I couldn't really talk. I had tinnitus. It just kept progressing. Everything kept getting worse and nobody knew what was going on. But the joint really took me out. Like I got vertigo, couldn't drive, couldn't see, couldn't drive, couldn't talk, couldn't hear, couldn't move out the bed. So what then ended up happening is I got a little better. There's still like residue problems from it. Like as of recently, I lost about 40% hearing in my right ear, just unexplainable. Vocal changes and all that are kind of messed up. I have to take prednisone, which is a steroid that's like life-threatening. Right now what I'm dealing with is, you know, the prednisone, the weight gain, the face puffiness, having classical chondritis, which is like tenderness in the chest. My ears are swollen. I think I have nerve damage and I had to get an MRI. MRIs, bro. Yo, MRIs are the worst. I hate getting my blood drawn, but I'd much rather get my blood drawn than get an MRI, because an MRI, like, you gotta sit still. You're in a like little tube. They hold your head still. You can't move for 50 minutes. Have you ever tried not to move? It's crazy. So I went to an open MRI, and open MRI is like slightly better, but not really. So it's like, either way, it's annoying. My goal here is to really deal with this thing, because growing up, I was considering myself an athlete, which is what's crazy. It's like it's not like I wasn't eating well and then I got diabetes. Like, you know, like it's not hereditary. There's nothing you really do to get this. It's like all of this it just seemed like a curse, like a spell somebody just put on me just randomly, just cuz. The way I'm honestly thinking about it, it's like a blessing. Like, I went to a holistic hospital. I took like 10 days, told them what my situation was. They had dietitians with PhDs, a bunch of research, a bunch of talking about keto diet, why it's not the best for you, and all this other research. They also had a psychologist there. So what happened is we went there and they kind of like had a schedule for us from 8 to 5, and the rest of the night was ours. It was kind of like school, basically. Went to like an exercise course, like telling you how you can exercise. With my breathing issue, like that's another problem I had. Like, I can't really breathe well because, I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but glottis, which is the space within your vocal cords, opens up to allow for more air, volume, and pressure to come through. The noise that you hear is the resistance, the space not opening up. But anyway, at the holistic hospital, I met with a psychologist. They talk to me every day, ask me if I feel depressed, if I feel stressed, what are my thoughts about what I'm doing and all this. To me, I've kind of personified the illness, and I feel like that's the only way I can cope with it. Personify meaning I've kind of turned the illness into a physical entity, into an enemy that I'm trying to defeat, rather than something that defines me that I have to, deal with. Like, I am sick. No, I'm not sick. I'm fighting a sickness. And that difference in my mind is, I think, what keeps me going, because if I feel I am sick, I'm just waiting to die, basically. If I feel I'm fighting a sickness, then there's something I have to do, more life to live. There's more things, there's more accomplishments that there has to be done. Psychologist told me that a lot of people who get a term or a chronic illness later in life, especially those who are very active, athletic. My fastest mile was 4:47. I used to run cross country. This legitimately was not supposed to happen to me. Like, you know, sickness is something you work for, just like health is something you work for. You know, if your immune system is down, you don't eat well, you don't drink right, you don't exercise, then you're susceptible to anything happening. But in my mind, I've put in a lot of work. I was very serious about my health, about being the best basketball player I can be, wanted to be in the NBA, all this stuff. So the psychologist told me, like, people in that situation face a whole lot of thoughts about suicide and existential crises and all these issues that I clearly wasn't enamored with. Like, I was dealing with it in a way that many people weren't. It's not to like toot my own horn. It was like a realization. I kind of learned that everything that I was and everything that I did and the mindset that I have, all this stuff that I felt that I built, cutting hair, playing basketball, being athletic, speaking well, you know what I'm saying? All these things, I felt I went and got them and I worked for them. And if you didn't have them, you were lazy, you didn't work hard. And granted, a lot of things you have, a lot of things you don't have a lot to do with your mindset and your work ethic. But a lot of the work ethic and the mindset that you have is not something that you got. And that's what I learned, because I'm a young black dude who grew up in Englewood, New Jersey. My mom is a nurse. My dad is a computer engineer. They came from Jamaica, have a real tight-knit family. They were able to afford to put me into private school. There's like the parents that I have, the brothers that I have, the family that I have, the area that I grew up in, the schools that I went to, the friends that I have, I didn't have anything to do with. And a lot of the combination of all that make me who I am today. The experiences that I have, these are all, I consider them all gifts, when before I consider them stuff that I got. And I feel that's a really important mind shift, because now, of course, I believe in hard work. Of course, I believe in going out there and getting things that you want. You aren't in as much control as you think you are. And that's what hit me. I wasn't in as much control as I thought I was. So what that did for me, I have an obligation. I look at my set of skills, experiences, and family and everything that I have, and I see it now as they're gifts. If they were gifts to you, that means it's an obligation for you to be a gift to somebody else. I recognize all this stuff that I have and people that inspire me, like Kobe Bryant. I mean, I don't even want to talk about that too much, but like, he was a person that embodied that. He embodied the fact that he was given a certain amount of stuff, and instead of saying it was all him and kept all these things to himself, even though he might have started off that way, he grew to give. And that's why I can't stop making videos. That's why I stick to things, I commit to things, because honestly, like, a lot of it isn't really about me. Like, I see you guys and I see me. I see what I was, and I see what I've been blessed with, a lot of things, and it's my duty to do something about it. And that's what this sickness is. So now I look back at this sickness and I'm like, there's so much people who have illnesses or have things that they didn't work for, like, that were just put on them, and instead of seeing it as something they need to fight, they see it as something that defines them. If that's the case, you've lost the battle and you can never win it. I feel like there's a purpose that I have to open up eyes, open up mindsets, and that's what I try to go to. But I really have this internal pull to talk about this.
I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I know everything is okay.